Hey friends, it's me, Micah, Homestead Bandwagon, but I'm not at the homestead today. I'm at the workstead working. We just got a new load of tractors in. We have these MT1 series tractors behind me from LS. They have made a change on them. They have new loaders and backhoes made by a US company, which is kind of exciting. So we're going to compare the old LS MT122 and 25 to the new LS MT1 series with the new US-made ALO Quicke loaders and backhoes compared to the good old-fashioned ones they had. Let's go see what the differences are. Here we go. I know you're as excited as I am. So I'm not going to try to get too in the weeds with all this stuff. These are both MT122 tractors from LS, but they do have new loaders and new backhoes. Otherwise the tractors are the same. So I haven't had a good chance to walk around these, but I have checked out some of the things on them. So this is the new LL1700 loader. This is the old LL1102. Now the 1102 replaces the 1101, the difference being a quick disconnect bucket. So this is a true skid steer quick disconnect bucket on the 1102. The LL11 or LL1700, I'm going to have trouble doing that one, also has a skid steer quick connect. Slightly different style. So you take these handles, push them, pull them up, and then they lock into a channel. I don't know if you can, or lock into a little locky guy here. I don't know if you can see that. And then just pop it out to release it. So a little bit different than the old style where you just pull these to release them. Now the buckets themselves, I did measure them pretty close. The old bucket's a little bit wider. Now something I noticed on the new bucket that I didn't love is, see, you have your edge here. There's no pre-drilled holes for a cutting edge. The old LL series, the old 1100 series, has holes for you to bolt on a cutting edge. This new bucket is a little deeper on the bottom, so when you're scooping you can get into a little bit more material, but pretty marginally so. Now on the loader frame themselves, I did notice a couple differences, and we'll go through this pretty quick. This is a guard for hoses, plastic, okay. The old one, that's metal. I kind of like the metal a little bit better, but it is what it is. What I noticed is your curl and dump cylinder is longer on the new ALO Quicke. So the LL1700 has a longer cylinder here than the outgoing loader. The lift cylinder is about the same. It's kind of cool they did black and blue. It looks cool at least. So we're going to do a quick comparison here, lifting and dumping, and just see how fast they go. We'll do that real quick. After we look at this, this is how you drop your whole loader frame. Got a lot of shadows here, but there's a pin here and it sits in a carrier on the top. So you pull that pin and pop the loader frame out. And they do have a kickstand right here for when you put the loader frame down. Oh, look at how these hoses are routed through the loader. Can you see this? They're routed through the loader, but they have a nice little bezel here so they're not scraping against the metal. That's a good thought. These guys have the kickstand as well, a pin to pull out to drop your loader, but your carrier, that's pretty beefy, is actually on the bottom. You can't really see it. So I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, but it's different. Your hoses from your loader control routed next to the body on the old one. Right to there. That's not bad. Let's see if they're different on this loader. So the new loader, same loader control position, hoses on the inside, nice and tucked away. So that's good to see. Okay, let's I'll start both these machines up. We'll lift both loaders up see which one lifts higher. We'll curl and dump, see which one has more movement, and I'll see if I can get a general idea on speed. Again, I'm not a scientist, but I'll do what I can. The ground's not exactly level here, so I'll get it as close as I can, see if there's any astounding differences. So let's do that real quick. So this ALO Quicke does lift just a skosh higher, and by the specs I've seen, it lifts a little bit more weight. I felt like it moved a little quicker than the outgoing loader did. This one, I think, dumped a little faster. I can't really tell if that's what was going on. This one seemed easier to do two functions at once. This guy was a little more touchy, which seems weird. I thought they were using the same valve system, but it may just be the geometry of the machine. I had an easier time doing two functions at once with this. Let's see when they're dumped if they're the same height difference here. This new loader is really noisy when you reach the end of your stops. It just slams into it, makes a lot of noise. Yeah, and a pretty apparent difference in height here, even though we're on a little bit of a slope. Is there a difference in angle? I think the old loader might angle down no, it does not angle down as far as this one. This one has a much longer angle, so this should be an easier bucket to empty once it's all full, and a longer floor here than we have in the old bucket, which means I think more material will come down and slide out. Just a thought. So yeah, this guy lifts a little more, lifts a little higher, and certainly a little bit more rotation angle because of that longer tilt and curl cylinder. One thing I did notice is the level indicator. This has a better level indicator, I think. This one I can't even see from the seat. We'll show you that real quick. Then let's get into the backhoes here. So I'm in the seat of the tractor with the ALO Quicke, so the new US made loader. My loader indicator's over there. Can you see it? We've got to like peek around. It's this guy right here. Very short, hidden behind this cylinder, real hard to see from the seat. On the old style loader, our indicator's right there. You can see it right there. So this tube, this guy comes through here and sticks up once you get into level. So a little more visible. I don't use my level indicator much, but it's just interesting how this is virtually invisible. Okay, let's look at backhoes here. So we're going to look first at the LB1107. This is the old outgoing backhoe. It's been around for a number of years. It's been a good little backhoe. So both of these use a 4-point design to hold them on. So 1, 2, so these pins you take out to remove it, and then there's a carrier down here that they sit on, a little loop that they kind of sit on. Both backhoes use this. Both use the same seat. The seat flips and reverses. Very easy on these. Operator stations aren't giant on compact tractors. Here's my size 13 shoe. Now something I noticed right away, this is what retains this guy for travel. So over time your hydraulics bleed off, these will drop, that's what holds it up. And then same thing here, got a lever here holding this boom up from falling. On the Quicke, they're using just good old-fashioned pins. Take that out, remove that pin. It's just a normal pin you could find on the shelf of your tractor shop. So if you lose or break it, you can replace it easy. I like that. And then this here lets you move your foot stepper that you use for getting on and off the tractor. That's kind of interesting. Okay, let's actually walk around this backhoe real quick. So built-in dirt pads. Not the thickest. These ones just have a flat pad you can bolt something to. So you have options here. This guy, you better love the one you're with. Control station, here's where your foot goes. Again, I'll throw my size 13 up there. About the same amount of room for your feet. A little bit more on the old one. This is a bit of a chunkier station. I did measure from the back of your control tower to the back of the tractor. It's the same width on both machines, even though this is a thinner tower. Now here's something goofy, and we'll try this out. Look at this guard here in front of your control sticks. This one, the guard's behind the sticks. So I'm going to jump on this thing and try this out. We're going to see the difference in length of reach on these. But this new one also has these rubber pucks on here. I don't know what these are for. This is rubber. And all these bolts are just Allen heads. So instead of having a bolt go through a pin, it just looks like a big Allen head bolt holding stuff together. That's interesting. And for taking off the bucket, remove a couple Allen head bolts, drop the bucket. Whereas on your old style, you've got to align bolts. When you put your bucket in, you got to align these bolts to go through this pin. So I like that. The grease zerks are recessed, which is smart. I measured these cylinders on both machines. They're the same length. The metal here doesn't look quite as beefy as the outgoing backhoe. These cylinders certainly look thicker on the loader. On these ones, they look about the same diameter, so that's good. And unfortunately, is that metal? Nah, that's plastic. Okay, so what do we think of these two backhoes? The newer style backhoe over here and the older style backhoe over here have basically the same specs, same reach, same depth, same height. Everybody always asks lift force. I don't know how much they lift. They're not for lifting stuff, they're for digging. Anyway, specs are about the same. As far as use goes, the ALO Quicke, the newer one, seemed to be a little smoother and a little faster at everything, except going side to side with your boom was much faster with the old tractor. So the old, what is it, LB1107, certainly faster side to side. So if we're digging and dumping and digging and dumping, that'll happen a little faster. Whereas the new LB1700 seemed to just slightly be faster at booming in, at curling, and doing just all the basic movements seemed to be a little faster and a little smoother, which was interesting to me. Doing two functions at once, moving your boom in, so your big arm towards you, closest to you, and curling your bucket in, which you do a lot. It was easier to do it with the old bucket or the old backhoe, but doing three functions at once, so bringing in the boom while bringing in your dipper stick, while curling your bucket, was easier on the new machine. It was a lot more natural feeling. So I think there's an edge there. As far as ease of use, I think the newer backhoe was a little better. Now, that being said, the operator platform does feel smaller on this one. There's less room for your feet. And this weird handle thing here, being towards you, I thought I'd hate it. Where is it? I thought I'd hate this. It's not the worst. Your wrists kind of just rest on it while you're using your backhoe controls. But I think this metal would bruise you over time, so maybe put a pad on that. Like get one of them pads you get for your motorcycle handlebars. Other than that, not many annoyances on the new thing, and I'm always annoyed by new stuff. Other small things that I noticed, we'll turn the camera around here. These outriggers go straight out from the body. On the old style, they kind of come out at an angle. These tractors are parked pretty close to even, but these outriggers come out a little further. Again, you can see the operator station on the old style, the LB1107. A little bit more room there. This one has a little cutout. See this cutout right here? But your feet aren't going to be there anyway. So they do have this, which is nice. So when you're getting on this thing, at least you have something to grip your feet onto. Because getting on these small tractor backhoes, it just stinks no matter what brand you're looking at. So I like having those there. That's pretty nice. So yeah, overall, I think I like the new backhoe a little bit better. On the loaders, I'll have to play with them a little bit more. Something about the design on this Quicke I kind of like. It does feel pretty well thought out. Couple cheesy things again. This plastic, I think that's pretty cheesy. They could replace that with metal. I do like the looks of it, which is really important. It was smooth operating. Big clunks when you reach the end of your travel on curl and dump, but a person could get used to that. Other than that, a little more articulation, a little more lift capacity, a little more lift height doesn't hurt my feelings. So I'm not sure if definitively I like the newer loader better. We'll have to see, but the backhoe, if I had to choose, I'd choose the new backhoe. So there you go. Your dealer might have some of the old 1102 and LB1107 backhoes like we do. They might have the new ALO Quicke made in the USA backhoes and loaders. I think either way you go, you can't lose. I do kind of like the idea of a made in America loader and backhoe. Just how parts shortages went back in COVID, so having stuff that's made in the US might be an advantage. We'll see how things go in the coming years. So that's it. Out with the old, in with the new. There it is, the new and improved ALO Quicke loader and backhoe made for LS tractor.